As we're speaking, I just heard three more explosions in the distance. So about an hour and a half ago, I'm just standing about 100 or so meters away from where one of the strikes hit early this morning near Taras Shevchenko University. Now, this is a major university and cultural site. It happened in the middle of peak hour traffic. So regrettably and horrifically, it appears that casualties have occurred amongst the civilian population. There is vision of cars that have been hit and burned out, and so we don't have any confirmation about the number of injuries and casualties. But as I've walked around the bomb site, the explosion site, most of the windows you see behind me have been blown out, doors have been blown off their hinges. This is a 4-story building behind me, trees have been knocked over. So the force of the explosion was very loud. It shook me in my apartment about a kilometre away. So it's a significant strike in the heart of Kyiv, and the most significant strike we've seen for several months.
Misha, those images that we just saw earlier, you had taken those. They're your pictures. Do we have any sense of the scale of the damage to the infrastructure across the city?
Well, details are still coming in, and as I said, there's been hits, it would appear, multiple strikes across the city and across cities across Ukraine. This is a retaliation strike for the attack on the Kerch Bridge that happened over the weekend just after Vladimir Putin's 70th birthday. The Kerch Bridge is the 20-kilometre bridge that links the Crimean Peninsula to mainland Russia. We don't know what damage has occurred, but what's clear from these strikes is that these are not military sites or military strategic important attacks. They are hits in the centre of Kyiv. As I said, one of the sites is right near me at the university. This is a cultural centre. It's named after Taras Shevchenko, who's a hero of Ukrainian national identity and of the revolution from many hundred years ago. He's a poet and a thinker. And so the university is named after him. All around where I'm standing are apartment buildings and civilians where they live day and night. So you can't imagine that this attack was designed to hit critical infrastructure. It's designed to cause terror in the city and amongst the population of Ukraine.
And Misha, as you said, there multiple cities have been hit. There where you, though, are in Kyiv, it's been reported that the strikes are more central than earlier in the war. Has that been your observation, and what could that suggest?
Well, that's absolutely the case. As I said, this is right in the middle of Kyiv. As where I'm standing, this is parkland, this is university, this is apartments, there's restaurants, bars, business districts. So this is absolutely in the centre. Putin has made it clear that he's going to hit Ukraine where they live, Ukrainians where they live. And so this is a big shift in what we've seen to date. We've seen certainly hits on civilian infrastructure. We've seen hits on apartment buildings in places like Kharkiv and Zaporozhye. We haven't seen anything like this in Kyiv. So to see a strike very much on multiple strikes in the centre of Kyiv is a big shift from Putin. And I think it's designed to send a message to Ukrainians that if they attack him in his parts of occupied Ukraine, he's going to retaliate right in the heart of Ukraine.
And how have people been reacting there in the heart of Ukraine, in Kyiv? What's morale like? Are people bunkering down?
Well, the city, I mean, I'm right where the bomb blast occurred, and so there's a lot of destruction, people cleaning up. As I walked around the city is still moving and active. People are still ordering coffees, going about their day. As I walked throughout the city, people were taking shelter in the underground metro stations. As I said, there have been more bomb explosions. As I've walked around the city since 8:30 this morning, I've heard at least 5 more. I don't know where those are, to what extent there's been damage, but the attack would appear, at least from what I'm hearing, to be ongoing. So it's a worrying time right now here in Kyiv. But what I would say is this: Ukrainians in Kyiv and around Ukraine are confident they are winning the war. So General Petraeus in an interview said the other day that Putin could destroy Ukraine whilst losing the war. And I think this is a perfect example of a petulant attack, one that won't change the fundamentals of the war that Russia is losing right now.